All right, going live in three,
Going live.
2, 1.
Oh boy.
All right. YouTube says we have an excellent connection, and let me check that on OBS. 0 drop frames. It
Wow,
is
imagine that.
perfection, as good as we can have it, with an iPhone and webcam. Uh,
Yep.
Craig Turpin, hi. So as you can see, guys,
Wow.
today we are going to be building, or maybe more accurately, kit bashing the Primaris Chaplain on bike, because I just got it in the mail a couple of hours ago. As you can see, I've already broken a lot of it down into sub-assemblies. So we've got the 2 feet. I would like to point out the ass is attached to the seat. So no worries there about losing it. I've got the massive exhausts. And of course, the chaplain himself. Hello, Pangburn Dark. So we
Hello.
will be painting this tomorrow. Hopefully I can show you guys some interesting stuff today. I'm going to be putting on a little bit of brass as well as some purity seals. And then tomorrow I'll probably just go ahead and prime it all black before the stream starts. That way we're starting off on the interesting stuff. Because I
Yeah.
want to show you guys
I
stuff
like
that's at
it.
least halfway interesting.
Perfect.
But holy cow, this thing is awesome. I think the first thing I'm going to be doing is removing these skulls inside of the star thing. I think this shows up on a lot of Primaris stuff, and I'm not exactly sure. I'm not up on my Primaris lore that much. So yeah, that's the first thing I'll be doing.
You're gonna put a Black Templar
I
thing?
am. I'm gonna be putting on
Ooh.
my brass. I have the Black Templar etched brass sheet. These were sold by Forge World a few years ago. Probably many years ago, and they're epic. The only thing is, I was really annoyed that the Templar brass sheet has things that aren't Templar. Like, I could do without maybe these nameplates or some of these badges. If I'm gonna buy a Black Templar sheet, I want every single thing to have a Black Templar emblem on it. Craig
Mm-hmm.
Turpin, prime the brass parts. I'm not going to be priming the brass parts before I put them on the model. I am going to be scuffing them up with a little nail file to help them stick. Because yes, clean brass is very difficult to glue down with some super glue. Coco, you don't need no stinking badges. Speaking of badges, anybody Ares Maston, do you guys sell any models armies?
Already.
Artie.
Yep.
I had a teacher named Arnie. Well, he let us call him Arnie. His name was Arnulfo.
What was his that? Oh yeah,
Arnulfo.
I forgot. Yep. Good old Spanish too.
Yes. No, we do not. We do not sell any models or armies. We mostly paint for ourselves and for our own enjoyment and for the enjoyment of you fine folk. And this is going to be trickier than I thought because these chains are very, very fragile. But what I was going to ask the chat is, what do you guys think of Primaris? I know it's kind of a hot button issue in the old 40k right now.
Yep.
Oh, and that's fun.
People don't like them.
Mm-hmm. I don't know if it must be some sort of like an algorithm or computer program that tells the plastic how thick it is, because we have this badge, and then on the backside, the plastic is kind of pulled in where that badge
Like
was.
hollowed.
Yeah, and it's probably
There's in Inventor you could do that.
mm,
It would just automatically do it. You just tell it a thickness.
nice, and that's exactly what it would probably do to something weird like this emblem. It would make a
Mm-hmm.
little pucker. Kilgore Void, what I'm just wondering what are you guys happy with Primaris? Mad at Primaris? In love with Primaris? Angry at Primaris?
You want to marry
Yeah, do you want
Primaris?
to marry Primaris? Do you want to kill Primaris? Do you want to collect Primaris? Do you not want to collect Primaris? Hello from Hope and Ash. Hi.
Hello. Hello, Lucky Bat.
Lucky Bat, howdy. Kilgore Void, if it ain't squats, I don't care. Wow, Kilgore Void, you've been out of the loop for a while now. There haven't been squats in almost 2 decades. I'm sure they're coming though. I am sure Space Squats are on GW's to-do list.
Yep. Well, after Primaris 2.
After Primaris 2.
The second coming.
Primaris Squats.
Yep, there you go.
They did make a squat model for Necromunda. Zerg619, hello.
Hello.
Doing something new today. All right.
Non-salamander related content. Primaris Orcs.
That'd be sweet. Some hot Krork action. If any of you want some sweet lore on the orcs, you should check out Baldemort's video on the orcs. It is absolutely epic. I am pretty mixed on the Primaris. It's a little frustrating that the Space Marine models that have existed forever are now kind of like secondary to these flashy new models. But on the other hand, it's kind of fun to sort of get to do your army over with all the skills I have now, all these years later. Because every one of my Primaris models is going to be perfection, whereas a lot of my Legacy Space Marines are a little not great sometimes. Zerg wants to know if there's an update for the orc similar to Primaris. No, not yet. There may be one in the future. And there is a little bit of more lore present for or the orcs than Primaris, because orcs technologically advance based on how many orcs are in a given area. And before there was the orc, there is a thing called the Krork, which was a hyper advanced, super powerful civilization of orcs. So if anything was going to get Primaris, actually orcs would probably happen sooner than the Space Marines.
Well, you'll have to go work for Games Workshop and make that happen.
Yeah, I'm going to ruin orcs just like they ruined Space Marines. No, that's not true. They did not ruin Space Marines. And it's probably going to take a decade for the classic Space Marines to no longer be relevant. Primorcus. And some things about Primaris are awesome, like this bike. I mean, holy cow, this bike. But I don't know. I'm still a little hit and miss with Primaris. I also think a lot of the Primaris kits look like poop, like most of the vehicles, which is kind of sad because, you know, if you want a Space Marine army, you don't want any of the models to suck. Any of like the core models in the army.
Yeah. Which one's your favorite one? The bike, what is it? ATV looking thing?
God, the ATV is hot garbage. But you know what? I think the ATV is better than the Hammerfall. It's called the Hammerfall something. I think it's the new drop pod, and it looks like butt. It looks straight out of StarCraft. Like, remember when the StarCraft buildings could take off? It looks
Yeah.
exactly like that. It looks so bad. The Mario Kart would be a very close second. The Space Marine ATV.
Yeah, Warhammer Mario Kart. The person that painted that up
Yes.
to look like Mario Kart.
Yeah, if you guys Google like Primaris Mario
Absolutely.
Kart, it's there and it's glorious.
It's pretty amazing. Joey Flores, how can one ruin orcs? Also, good evening.
How could
That's very true. Orcs are great.
pretty awesome. I think I saw. Any thoughts on knobs becoming a troop choice? I love that. I think there should be a lot more diversity in the troop choices, but I think there should be. I think that there should be like restrictions. Like, I think bikes should be able to be taken as a troop choice, but I think in order to unlock that ability, both of your leader options must be on bikes. And so for orcs, possibly, like, you know, if you have to bring, you know, your war boss in a mega knob armor, is it mega knob armor or just mega armor?
I think
Just
mega
mega
armor.
Like,
Or yeah, I don't.
yeah,
Let's go with that.
I would love it if, like, oh, if you bring, you know, a war boss in mega knob armor, you can all of a sudden take you can take knobs as troop choices, or if you want to take you know, something else as troop choices, like orc bikes as troop choices, you have to bring, you know, you have to bring the war boss on trike. Because I love like really unique armies. I can't pick this thing up. I love really unique armies, and you know, it's like when you can only take like one or two things as troops, your troops aren't going to be exciting to you. But if you can do something real weird with troops, I think that's when you start to be like, okay, this is pretty badass. This thing I get to do. You know, I get to bring striking scorpions as my troop choice. You know, if you're a White Scars player and you bring Carcero Khan and someone else in like in the Chaplain on bike, and all of a sudden you don't have to take a single Intercessor Space Marine. That's I think that's pretty awesome. ER910 does not like the Intercessors. They look boring. I can a little bit agree, but I don't know. Regular attack Marines also kind of look boring. So.
You got him.
And you can add a lot.
Did you see
to the Intercessors in terms of kit bashing and converting, because the regular Space Marine heads and shoulder pads fit and look great on Primaris. So.
There you go. Did you see the Warhammer 40k line by McFarlane Toys? Looks cool.
By McFarlane Toys. Is that the jumbo? This didn't even glue down a little bit. All right. Gonna have to come up with a better plan to get it onto the super glue before it hardens. I'm probably gonna use my wax pencil. If that's the big Intercessor Space Marine, I don't love it. I think I was kind of primed to love it, but they just scaled up the regular Space Marine, and I think that was the wrong way to go about it. Here, I'm gonna be gone for 2 seconds while I go grab a tool.
All right, we'll miss you. That means he's gonna go grab himself because he's a tool. He's trying to find the tool. I can hear it in the background. And really, All he got to do is look inward and find himself. Oh, I'm working on it. I'm working on my secret kill team. It's looking good. I need to figure out the basing, but I want to do 3D printed bases. So it's going to take a little bit to design those. But I think I'll have some time tomorrow to work on them. So once that's going, it should be good. But Jay and I are going to play a game of Kill Team tomorrow. So I think I'm going to play Orcs.
You're going to play Orcs because that's your only army.
Correct. I mean, if I asked nicely, maybe you'd bring one of your armies.
Ah. No.
No.
Getting back to the Jumbo Space Marine. So, if any of you have played, like, there was a 40k video game, Death Knight or Death Wing, that had some Terminators, and the thing that made them so awesome is they kind of took inspiration from the models, but they finished them off. They decided, well, what is in between, the grooves of a Space Marine armor? How exactly do all the parts fit together? What is all of the little doodads on the face do? And so they kind of built them into real things because they had the room. Because it's taken up your entire computer screen, this Terminator. And so they had to make those decisions. And so all of a sudden, they're going to build this Jumbo Space Marine, and it's completely identical to the Space Marine that's 1 inch tall. I think that's rather lame.
Yeah.
But I do love all of the kind of converting and fun people are having with it. Like they're changing the chapter, they're adding on tabards and tassels. So I'm a little split on it.
It's a step in the right direction.
Yeah. Crap balls. This is not working out for me at all. I was trying to put glue on it, and it fell off of my thingy-mabob.
I saw a few seconds later.
A 7-inch Space Marine and the Necron. I kind of like the Necron because they did sort of make those decisions a little bit about like what does, they kind of added in some of those details you can't see on the tiny model. Kilgore Void. Ayy!
I made a joke about you being a tool because you said that you were gonna go grab a tool, and I said, well, you should go grab yourself, which is true.
There is a Kill Team game inspired by Play on Tabletop's video that was released last night.
Is this a Kill Team game? Because I was talking about that we're playing Kill Team tomorrow with Ben. I haven't seen the video, the Play on Tabletop's video, so I don't know. I just didn't. I saw that it existed. I didn't watch it.
Doesn't Play on Tabletop do a lot of Kill Team? Or am I thinking of the wrong channel?
Yeah, but I didn't watch it. They did one recently. I saw that they had a video on it. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know what the video is, or if there's anything special about it. But yeah, we're just learning the rules and seeing a friend that we haven't seen in I don't know,
50 years.
For me, like six, maybe 8 months, and you probably longer than that. A year and 6 months, maybe. Good Lord, man, that emblem is not cooperating.
But it will in just a second. It will in just a second.
You got to give it a good spanking.
Yeah. Is it straight? Kinda. Oh my goodness.
I ask myself that every day.
All right, there's one tiny part of it that is well glued down. The rest of it is not. So how am I going to get glue underneath there? Oh my god.
Time to get the soldering iron. So Kilgore Void says.
Ah, that'd be nice. Just throw a little solder down there. I don't think that'll work with the soft plastic, though.
I don't know. Sounds like some coward decision making right there.
Right, so this is looking a little poopy, but I might have to live with it if I want my Templar symbol on there. All right. And did that work? It didn't not work. I wouldn't say it also. I also wouldn't say it worked. But baby steps.
It's always good to be take a step in the right direction.
All right. Well, I'm sure the second one will go much better.
Yeah, you learned everything.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, I got to see the salamanders in person, and they look rather great.
Ah, I'm so happy with those guys. I'm so happy.
They look so good. They're at my house now.
They're gonna get a little.
I'm gonna take some photos, and
they're each gonna get a little wooden plinth. Because they are so nice. All right, so there we go. It's a little more to the left than I would love, or to the right, stage left, but it is on there and it's straight up and down, so I'm gonna be fine with that. Time to do it again.
Perfect. Mine always hangs a little stage left.
In the chat right now, do we have any big The Office fans? The American or British? Oop. I just dipped my hand into my super glue. Craig Turpin likes the British Office. I absolutely adore The Office. Both the British and the American. It's hard not to love the American Office more, though, just because it's went on for 9 seasons instead of 2. Or did the British Office was 12 episodes, start to finish, I believe. Boy, oh boy, though, do I love the American Office. Right now I'm listening to a podcast called Office Ladies, where 2 of the actresses on the American Office talk about their experience on The Office, and they're going episode by episode, which I think is adorable. All right. 2 seasons and a special was the British Office. Thank you, Craig Turpin. All right, drum roll, please. I'm about to be applying the second piece of brass.
Oh boy.
Killer Void, fun fact,
I hope this is a hole-in-one.
There's pretty obscure references to the British Office in It's Always Sunny. I love Always Sunny. I don't know... was Ricky Gervais ever on Always Sunny? Always Sunny doesn't have a lot of guests. All right, it looks like I nailed it. It's a little tall, but I'm gonna say I nailed it. And you know what? You can only look at one side at a time, so it sure will look fine.
I'm going to try to look at 2 sides, both sides at the same time.
I am racking my brain for Always Sunny in Philadelphia moments that are homages to the British office. It'd be really weird if the Always Sunny in Philadelphia played a lot of tribute to the American Office, because there's such different shows.
Mm-hmm.
God damn it! That didn't glue down at all.
Ooh.
There we go. Let me get some good. Plenty of super glue in there. There we go.
Dr. Trokol. Hey, this doesn't look like the
Dr.
kitchen.
Trokol. That was just a joke that I'd be repainting my kitchen. And now this isn't. Oh, speaking of repainting the kitchen, I had a big disappointment today. I saw on Facebook, Miniac shared him working on his Titan, and it's just an Imperial Knight.
Uh-huh.
I thought when he said Titan, he was talking about a Titan. Imperial Knights are a dime a dozen. I want to see the man, the myth, the legend work on a big old Forge World resin Titan. I mean, it doesn't make any sense for him to do that. He doesn't even like 40k. But, so why would he get one of the biggest flagship models you could possibly get? Who calls an Imperial Knight a Titan, though? Is that correct?
Yeah, I wonder if he misspoke or something.
They're Knight-ish. I'll give him that. Or Titan-ish. They are Titan-ish.
Yeah, but it's not the same.
No.
I mean, you called it, though. You were like, it's probably not that.
Yeah.
It's probably not what he said.
All right. We have...
Is he coming out with the video this week,
I
then?
don't know. It looked like it was in rough shape, but who knows when he took the work in progress photo.
Ah.
All right. These panels... I love the way GW built this kit, by the way. It is very... You're welcome. Very nice to put together. Goes together like
First
butter.
burp.
Yes, first burp. All right, we got. So far we're at probably, 5% Black Templar. I want to get to at least 20%. I think I'm gonna throw another piece of brass right here, and I'm gonna put on one of these tiny little Aquilas.
I'm sure that's going to go on with ease.
What do these little Aquilas have to do with Black Templar? I'm asking Forge World, what do they have to do?
We just thought you'd like it.
I don't hate it, but I don't know how Templar-y it is. Ooh, or do I cut off this little nubbin and then put on something a little bigger? That's the question, I think. One thing I've learned, one thing I've really have learned in this hobby is if you have a cool bit, just use it. Don't even wait. Don't ever wait, because then you'll find that you have a horde of really cool bits and a bunch of really plain models. So if you ever find like a scope or a dangly or a bullet or a purity seal, slap that on a model. You'll be happy that you did.
That's some good advice. A lot of people like to hold on to stuff.
I have a bunch of boring-ass Space Marines because I was nervous. I'm like, oh, well, I'll keep these scopes and these danglies and these emblems because maybe one day I'll build a Stern Guard veteran squad and then I'll use them all. Or I'll save them all to use on my Warlord. Nope. If you know for like a fact, you're like, oh, I'm going to save this shoulder pad for this Warlord I'm working on right now on my desk. Then I give you permission. But other than that, anything you find interesting, just slap it on a model.
And you have to ask Jay before you put it on.
You do. That's the other caveat. Yeah, keep me in the loop, guys.
Can I put this bit on my model? No.
In the office, Ricky Gervais buys himself a Sergio Giorgini jacket. Frank buys himself a Sergio Giorgini bag. Huh. Is that a reference or just two expensive items? Because doesn't Frank buy the Sergio Giorgini bag because that's something that Dee wanted? Because I think you're thinking of the Christmas episode, right? Right, Kilgore?
Right? Right?
I guess what is the difference between an homage and just a similar thing? Is it intent?
Probably intent.
Oh, it's a fictional brand. I didn't know that. I assumed it was just a high-end brand.
It sounds like a real brand.
Well, in that case, I think you're absolutely right, Kilgore. Hey, Kilgore, so you're probably a pretty big Always Sunny fan.
Nerd! Oh.
What do you think of the last couple of seasons? I think they're a little rough. They're not bad.
How many seasons?
There's a lot. There's a real lot. They've got to be... Boy, like 11, 12? They only do 10 episodes a season, though.
Mm-hmm.
Nerd is at a community.
I think I've only seen the first 3 seasons.
Of Community?
I don't remember.
Or Always Sunny?
No, of it's Always Sunny.
Then you've seen it.
I don't know. Yeah,
I like
fine.
Always Sunny.
Yep. I feel like I get it.
They reached the point where they should probably be done. The show still definitely has its merits, and I love those characters. The thing, and they've had a few excellent episodes. But overall, I don't know. I also miss them just being at the bar. It seems like every episode now they're leaving the bar. They're going to water parks or the zoo or, the Phillies games. I miss when it was just a bunch of losers working in a bar that's going out of business. Oh, if Sergio Giorgini has a Facebook page, it's definitely a fake brand. Oh, that's awesome that it has a Facebook page.
That's pretty funny. I like to think they post every single day, like it's a real thing.
Yeah,
or maybe it is.
Oh, here's a picture of Frank Reynolds showing off one of our premium products.
They Photoshop their stuff onto like Fashion Week, like New York Fashion Week and stuff. It would be pretty funny.
It's right up there with Red Apple cigarettes. I think Red Apple cigarettes is a product of Tarantino, right? Because Red Apple cigarettes appear in all of his movies. Red Apple cigarettes even shows up in The Hateful Eight, which takes place 2 years after the Civil War. So in the shared universe of Tarantino, Red Apple cigarettes have basically always existed. Kilgore Void has a distinctly unhealthy enjoyment of fictional brands and products.
Ooh. We have a high BPM. I haven't had a burp in 16 years. So,
all right, so I think we...
tweaking, man.
All right, so we got a symbol up front, 2 symbols on the side. I think now I'm gonna throw some purity seals trailing off of the back. Although the pose that this guy is in is kind of resting, and the purity seals on his body are all hanging down. So actually, maybe I'm not gonna put any purity seals in motion.
You should make him have a motion blur.
Ah, that would make painting easy, wouldn't it? Just a motion blur effect. It would look like the Patterson Gimli footage of Bigfoot.
Yep.
Man, I love Bigfoot. I love spooks and scaries and monsters and cryptids. If someone had a gun to my head though and is like, is Bigfoot real or not? I think I gotta go. He's not real. How could he be real?
Ooh.
No one in the whole world has gotten a decent picture. Patty for life.
I think you're going to make everyone really angry by saying that. It's a pretty controversial thing.
The motorcycle needs a salamander. Yes, I'm going to get Cobra mode right on it. They're making me up a motorcycle, a salamander on a motorcycle as we speak. Obviously, Bigfoot is an extra-dimensional being who can traverse between realities and has burial rites that involve moving remains to another reality. Clearly.
Yep.
Yes. Yeah, we can all. Excuse me, Earth. But the Earth is flat people are cucks. The real conspiracy.
Ooh.
Space is fake. There is no space.
Space is fake.
Prove to me space isn't fake. You can't do it.
Also, moon landing, not real because space isn't real. There is no moon.
They faked 12 moon landings. Dr. Trokel saw Bigfoot crush a bunch of cars when they were a kid and doing some sick jumps. Are you talking about the monster truck Bigfoot?
Monster truck?
That's pretty good.
No.
Apparently monster trucks are actually a little bit fragile. Like they can only do specific things. It's not like a monster
crush cars
and like kind of do those kind of jumps that they do. But it's like you couldn't do like a demolition derby of monster trucks because you'd immediately just crack axles and break suspensions.
That kind of makes sense. So it's very disappointing.
They kind of like present them as these just indestructible tanks, when in reality they're just really good like stunt cars.
I think that's maybe that's something we should get into.
Monster trucks. It's probably more lucrative than 40k.
Yeah. You ever see Demolition Derby?
I have. I saw it live like once
at the fairgrounds,
and it was awesome.
Yep.
There was a minivan participating, and we had driven there in a minivan, and so we were like, "Yeah, yes,
yay, minivan!"
Which the minivan has an unfair advantage. It's so heavy.
Yeah. 40k monster trucks.
Is space just the coffee will eventually be able to... The space is just the coffee that the donut of Earth will eventually be dunked into. Yes.
That makes sense.
Yes, I subscribe to the Dunkin' theory, the Dunkin' Donuts theory of the universe.
Ooh. America runs on Dunkin'.
Maybe America does more than runs on Dunkin'. Maybe America is Dunkin'.
Ooh.
Ah, this guy is so cool.
What's his name?
He will need a name. Reclusiarch something or other. Because the Black Templar call their chaplains Reclusiarchs.
Mm.
The Duncan Rhodes. Duncan Rhodes. Is he going to paint up one of these guys?
Ooh.
I hope he doesn't. So they can be my thing.
Ooh.
The Earth is a disc that sits atop 4 elephants that ride on the back of a Turin, the giant star turtle, as he flies through space. Everybody knows that. Yes, everybody does know that.
I read that. I saw that in Earth Science.
The Stephen King theory of the universe.
One of the big things. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's not a theory. It's a fact.
His books were all co-authored by Cocaine. Cocaine is actually credited.
Mm-hmm.
What other?
So is half the original EOB videos.
Alright, what else do I have?
I wish that was true.
My goodness. In terms of decorations, I can throw on this cool cap. Oh, you guys, I'm a dummy. I didn't have to use my brass because I actually have a bunch of plastic Templar symbols. Ooh. How annoyed at myself am I going to be? Because this would be gorgeous. Oh, you know what? I don't have to be too upset because it's too big. So I couldn't have used that even if I wanted to.
Yeah.
Ooh. No, I don't think so.
Glue the plastic over the brass. I won't tell.
I have all of my bits. Here, let me try to show you guys. I have all of the bits to all of my armies in these little... I think these are meant kind of like for jewelry or for beads. I have them all organized nicely. Do you guys hang on to your bits or do you just chuck them? Because why bother being a maniac who keeps every tiny little thing?
Kilgrove Void is excited to see your bits.
Oh my god.
Craig Turpin asked, once you're done painting the assemblies, how do you remove the part from the pin mount? Is it glued to the pin?
No, it's just pressure fit. Here, let me... Boink. I just yanked it off. Yeah, I find I have a drill bit that's just about a match for paper clips. So it's no problem at all to take them off. And if you're ever worried about something kind of wanting to spin on you, you can do what I did with the big bike, and he can be attached in 2 spots. And obviously the holes are going to be hidden by the bike being attached to a base.
And being very low to the ground.
This guy, he actually has like a solid, probably close to 2 inches of clearance. I think most motorcycles have like 6 inches, but you know, it's the far future. So the roads are very well paved on these battlefields that he's driving through.
Yep.
Glue the plastic over the brass. Well, I don't want to do a disservice to the brass, so I'm gonna leave it. I've done an okay job. It'll need a little cleanup later, but Kilgore Void obsessively hoards his bits and doesn't ever use them. Save all the bits. Sometimes bits can make you a little money.
That's true.
Especially weapon options, because the meta changes so much. So all of a sudden, you know, heavy bolters are hot this week. Oh, well, I've got 25 of them.
Mm-hmm.
Let you have them for $2 a pop.
Yeah, that's very true. Ah, listening to Paint Dry with Mike and Dan says
Hello,
hello.
listening to Paint Dry with Mike and Dan. How are you listening to
Hi.
Paint Dry with Mike and Dan? What's on your painting table listening to Paint Dry with Mike and Dan?
Yeah, we were on their
Yeah.
podcast a little while back.
Yeah, they told us after we were done filming, they told us in confidence that we were their favorite guest they've ever had. By far.
Yes, that's very true. And ever will
Yes.
have. They predicted even in the future.
A Sequitur Prime that I'm trying to paint non-metal metallic gold on. What's a Sequitur Prime? Listen to Paint Dry with Mike and Dan. What is a Sequitur Prime? Is that a fantasy model? Does this guy need... Could I put on a little... Does that do anything for it, or does that just kind of hide too much of the awesome model? I think it probably hides. So I'm just going to put on this little reliquary. Where's this bit from? I believe this is a Grey Knight bit. A Sequitur Prime is a Stormcast Eternal from Age of Sigmar. Ah. Never made the plunge into Age of Sigmar because I don't play enough 40k to warrant my huge sprawling armies. But if I ever,
We have the
I do have the
wraiths.
wraiths. I do have some Age of Sigmar models.
Glaive wraiths.
Glaive, I think they're
Yep.
like Glaive Stalker Nighttime Wraiths. I'm sure that's correct.
Yeah. Betty by
Yes.
nighttime wraiths.
Yes.
Yeah, that's
I
exactly
think
what
they're
it
called
is.
Rockabye Baby Wraiths. Oh my goodness, I am a Butterfingers tonight. Just trying to get any of these models to actually stay put.
Sponsored by Butterfingers, the delicious, nutritious
I don't
treat.
like Butterfingers. They're weird.
I
I don't
don't
like
either.
the weird way they kind of crush. They don't crunch, and you don't bite through them. They crush as you're biting into them.
Yeah, they do.
It's very odd. I don't like it. Listening to Paint Dry with Mike and Dan, I feel your pain. Never had time to game, even in the world without COVID.
That is very true.
What's this COVID thing people keep talking about, though? I would like someone to finally explain it to me, because I have no idea.
Yep.
People are all mad at, like, Corona beer.
I think it's pronounced. Yeah, I think that's what it is. Too many people drank too much Corona beer and they got sick.
Since my Black Templar biker is since he is of the Black Templar, he takes on the role of a librarian to my Space Marines, and so I'm going to try to put a couple of extra books on his bike. No armpit shield. Yeah, Kevin.
Yes, we were.
I think that's the wise choice.
I agree with that. Yes, we were on episode 14 of Listening to Paint Dry with Mike and Dan.
Are you going to base the guy flat or doing a sick wheelie? I think I'm going to base him on a little bit of a plinth. He's actually not in motion the way the model is sculpted. Here, let me show you once I get this book to stay put for me. Any day now. COVID is an old wooden ship. That's what I thought. exactly listening to Paint Dry with Mike and Dan. I completely agree. So
It was
here, let
very
me yank
confusing.
one of these feet off of their little painting stand.
Feet
So the
holders.
way it's kind of like an Akira pose, if anyone of you remember that old anime. So the bike is kind of leaning on this foot that's actually sitting on the ground. And I don't really know an easy way. I guess you could it wouldn't be the hardest thing in the world to get that leg onto the pedal, but I actually kind of like the attitude and the pose. So I'm going to keep him like that.
Hmm.
Kilgore Void, COVID is an old type of videotape identifier they used to use in the 80s. It's becoming a fad in the tech circles.
Ah, there you go.
Oh,
I have a black and white laser printer, and it has a Corona wire in it.
oh, fun.
Yeah,
Dr.
that's kind
Drokel
of fun.
thought co-vid was when you collaborate on a video with someone else. That makes sense. Co-video, collaborate video, co-vid.
I get it.
Listening to Paint Dry with Mike and Dan, Akira is the best anime ever. I haven't seen all of it. It's pretty darn good. But I think my favorite anime is Ghost in the Shell. Yes, Joey Flores. I think that is kind of what they're going for, which I think is adorable. Kilgore Void wants us to all know Tetsuo the Iron Man, or Tetsuo the Iron Giant, Tetsuo the Iron Fist. I don't know exactly what you're talking about, Kilgore Void. Listening to Paint Dry with Mike and Dan, Dr. Drokel, lol.
Wow.
LOL. Ooh, you know what? Maybe I'll put this little... Ooh, you know what? I should probably check to make sure I didn't put that reliquary right where... Yep, I put it right where this exhaust needs to go. Ooh, I should check that on the book, too. I think I might... Yeah, I'm okay with the book. I gave it enough clearance. It's a little bit weird not to be working on a model that I've already made a dozen of. It's a little weird to be working on a model I've never done before.
Mm.
Alright, I think right there is where that's going to live. Greg Turkin, is Attack on Titan an anime? No, it's a lifestyle. Attack on Titan is definitely an anime. Anime is just Japanese animation. It's a little weird. Anime is a little weird to me, though, that it's so ultra popular, like Japanese cartoons. Because it's not like we all just adore, like, Dutch comic books. Or, like, you know, Turkish rom-coms. But Japanese animation is beloved, like, the world over.
You don't watch Turkish rom-coms?
Not on the daily.
I mean, that's all I watch. Jeez.
No. You know, German prank shows.
Listening to Paint Dry with Mike and Dan. We are on just for an hour, so we'll be signing off in 6 minutes. We do during the week. We do just an hour at 9 p.m. Central, and then on Saturday we get wild. We do a wet T-shirt contest, and then we do we go for a few hours on Saturday, starting at 9 p.m. Central time.
We usually go a little past midnight on that's what we've been doing on Saturdays.
Yeah. Get a little naughty.
Oh my goodness, Dr. Drokel.
And my mom tells me to go to bed.
Dr.
I don't do it.
Drokel's favorite anime is any of the ones with tentacles.
That makes sense.
They should revoke your license, Dr.
We've been
Drokel.
getting to know. we've been getting to know Dr. Drokel throughout the weeks of doing
Yes.
this, and
Mm-hmm.
perfect. That makes sense. What t-shirt contest? Now it's a party. Yep.
Max Brandt, ever seen Turkish Star Wars? I have not, but I know of it. I have seen Russian Terminator. In Russian Terminator, the Terminator's catchphrase is, "You got a problem, you're gonna die."
Mm-hmm. It's a good phrase.
Ah, Max Brandt. Our Dr. Drokel's into tentacle stuff. A fellow 2,000 Leagues Under the Sea fan. That's pretty funny. There is also an giant octopus attack in King Kong versus Godzilla. So, yeah. I didn't even know that was a hentai when I was watching it all those years ago. This is basically how I kit bash. I just I take the model, I put it together, I take it apart, and I just kind of look in my bits, and I see what can go where.
All right. Listening with Paint Tray with Mike and Dan is signing off.
Aw, have a good night listening to Paint Dry with Mike and
Bye.
Dan.
Yes, and go listen to their
Yeah.
podcast. We're on episode 14.
Did you guys ever see Backstroke of the West? Or the
I've not.
Backstroke of the West? Wait, is Backstroke of the West the Chinese translation of Star Wars? Aw, thanks for listening to Paint Dry with Mike and Dan. We think you guys are amazing too.
Yeah.
Speaking of, I don't know, nothing in particular. It is 9:57, so we are going to be wrapping up in about 3 minutes' time.
So say something mean.
Yeah, everybody just spam. Can everybody just start swearing up a storm in the comments? Just go for it. Full blast anything. Kilgore Void, somebody translated the original script into Chinese badly for subtitles, then back to English also badly, and some brilliant person dubbed the entire movie with it.
Wow.
Whoa, lucky bad. That's taking it a little far. Dr. Drokel, I'm surprised you don't know this, but I think the scientific term is feces. I don't know where you got your doctorate.
Oh, you got him. You destroyed him.
It's his fault for calling himself Dr. Drokel and not being able to back it up. All right, so you guys, tomorrow night we will be painting these guys. I will have them all ready and primed, so we'll be starting out with the interesting stuff. Oh, and Zerg619 will be streaming tomorrow at 7. UTC, what is that? Which one is that?
I'm not sure, but I'll have to look it up.
Everybody,
and y'all have to look it up too.
You know, peeps, check out Zerg19 stuff. Rooster poop intercourse. Whoa. Wow. You know what? Kevin Brewis is a dingus.
Dingus. That's a pretty mean thing to say.
Yeah, it's a real 2-round blast. It's a double-barreled shotgun of live streams.
Yeah.
All
right.
It is that time.
Oh yeah, we had a video. We had a video.
Yeah, we have a video today. Everybody go watch it. Everybody go watch it a bunch
Go
of times with the ad blocker turned off. Good night.
Yep. Good night.